Are you hungry but only have 30 minutes to meal prep? Then download my new e-cookbook, What to Meal Prep, at successfitnessstore.com. You will get 3 step-by-step written and visual recipes for one high-protein meal that's under 600 calories. I'll help you cook fresh salmon, steam fresh broccoli, and quinoa in under 30 minutes to help you stay on track of your fitness goals. So go to successfitnessstore.com to download your copy today. Welcome to the Success Fitness Podcast. I am your host, Christian Evans. This podcast is about helping improve your relationship with diet and exercise to achieve success in your fitness journey. In today's podcast episode, we have a special guest, Mr. Anthony Brown. Anthony Brown is from Cleveland, Ohio, who has lost 250 pounds. He stands at 5'9". So 5'9", 250 pounds. We are going to hear right from him how he lost all that weight. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Mr. Anthony Brown. How you doing this morning?
Man, I am blessed and highly favored. I'm not even gonna hold you for that one.
Yeah, and I said this morning is actually the afternoon, on the Saturday afternoon. How's the weather up there in Cleveland, Ohio, where you're at?
Today in Cleveland is a good warm day. We about 80-something plus degrees. We had some rain, some overcast this morning, but it looked like the sun has come out. And it's going to be a great day.
Okay. Well, again, I appreciate you taking time out to come on our podcast and just share your weight loss story. So just with that being said, just give us a little bit of background about yourself as growing up and how you end up becoming 250 pounds heavier than what you are right now. What led up to that?
Oh, that's a loaded question. So, okay. So I was born and raised right here in Cleveland, Ohio. And I was raised by my mother and my grandmother. My father was around, but I was the other child, like the songwriter said, Papa was a Rolling Stone. Yeah, that was me. I was the other child. But nonetheless, I had a great mom and grandmother who helped raise me and get me through. And I always would tell people, part of my other story about, going to college. And that's why I didn't think I was even college material, because I was a kind of a bully in high school. I only went the first period, the 8th period, and I went to lunch. Now I'm gonna go to lunch every day because if you walk past me with some French fries, I'm gonna stick my finger in it, and it's mine. Or if you had some cupcakes, you had some cookies, you don't want that. So
Right.
Let me hold that. Right. Not realizing that some of this I was finding comfort in food because of my level of, I guess, depression, anxiety, stress, because I didn't have my dad actually living with me. He was there, but he wasn't there. So it was a lot of trauma behind that. And so I found my comfort in food, which is really debilitating for many. And so from that, I went to college, came out of school, and I always found myself just, whenever I got depressed, I felt sad, I felt lonely. Food, that was my comfort. Food, and I say food and alcohol. Let me say it like that way. Food and alcohol. If you never me to go have a drink, a cocktail, or anything, just because I was that social drinker, I was there for it.
Right.
Fast forward many years later, life happens. Life happens and life happens again, got married, got divorced, had a child, all this, that, and the other, lost a job, had a job, lost another job. And it was just that up and down of that level of depression and anxiety took the best of me, until I found out that one day I was over 450 pounds. And I thought I could find comfort in food. I thought I could find comfort in drinking, and that just wasn't happening. It just was not a good thing for me. Later on in life, I had to, become the caregiver for both my mom and my dad. And there were days where I would spend my mornings at one hospital, go to work, and then spend my evening at the other hospital. I was taking care of my parents. And at that point, my son was around 20-ish years old, and I'm just trying to maintain the best I can, and it was stressful, and I couldn't deal with it.
Right.
And I remember one day my father, because the last 4 years of my father's life, he ended up living with me, so I ended up becoming his caregiver. He was with me, so I got my dad. I really got my dad back in the last 4 years of his life, and so my father told me one day, he said, "Do you want your son to have to take care of you like you're taking care of us?" And that was heavy. For me, that was heavy. And I'm like, oh my gosh. My dad had prostate cancer. He had some other issues. My mother had diabetes. She had 2 legs amputated. She had Crohn's disease. I mean, it was just a myriad of issues. I was on high blood pressure, 2 blood pressure pills, cholesterol, the anxiety, depression. I had a CPAP machine. I had all the ailments. They had already diagnosed me as pre-diabetic. I was on my way to the diabetic medication. I suffered from migraines, the whole 9 yards. And I said, wow, no, I do not want my son to have to take care of me.
Right.
Yeah, if he's gonna take care of me because he made it, he's doing something great, he's successful. Right. He just want to just say, Dad, come on, let's go. And that was a wake-up call.
Right.
And I had to start thinking about, what do I need to do differently? I had to make that conscious decision. So it was no longer about living for me. Well, it was living for me, but it was a greater purpose. I had to find a purpose in what I was doing. Like many people who probably want to lose weight, what was your purpose? What was your motivation? And that was my motivation. I did not want him to take care of me like that, because I saw what I had to deal with every day with my mom and my dad, and it was killing me emotionally. And I thought I could find solace in in going home and having a tequila or
right, just a break, a deprogram. Yeah.
And so I remember going to Atlanta for a conference, and I was coming home on February 12th, 2018, I think it was, and I had a tequila sunrise. And when the plane landed at midnight, I said, I'm done drinking. I said, that's it. I can't do it, because I knew that was my first step. For me, I had to stop. Now, I want to say it was just February 2000. But at that point, like, I'm done. I can't do this no more.
Right.
I'll be honest and say, hey, my name is Anthony Brown. I'm an alcoholic. I'll be one, this right here, 32 ounces. It's tea today.
Right.
It was a time.
Right.
Come on, somebody. There was a time when this would be full of tequila and something. And I would go to bed with it. And if I woke up and there was still something left, I'm going to go there. But let me go work.
I got you.
So that was my first step.
I got you. So after that first step, like, what did you do after then?
My second step. Oh my God. My second step was, I said, I got to start walking. I just started walking. I made the conscious decision. So I'm an educator by choice, by trade. And so, but every morning before I would walk into the building, I work in a high school. Before I walked into the building, I said, okay, there was a walking track outside of my high school that I worked at. And every morning, I would just go outside and walk for maybe like 5 or 10 minutes. That was it, just to kind of get started. I had to start somewhere. So I started walking. And I started walking. And what I found was, oh my gosh, that once 10 minutes, so many weeks later, it became 20 minutes. A couple more weeks later, it became 30 minutes. And over the summer, it became a half hour to an hour. And I just started walking. I started walking my neighborhood. I pulled out my phone and I started videotaping myself as I'm walking. I'm just doing a Facebook Live, or I'm just chat, and I'm just, by the time I'm watching a YouTube, I'm watching a podcast or anything. By the time I looked up, I didn't walk 5 or 6 miles.
Wow.
Well, guess what? I got to walk back.
Right. That's another 5 to 6 miles back.
Exactly. And that was the start of the whole process for me to, like, what can I do to do something different? Do something different. So let me take it back. That was 2017 when I stopped drinking, 2017. Okay, so it took me about a year to finally do that. And so after that, I met with my doctor, met with some specialists, and the doctor said, well, have I ever thought about surgery? Now, I know that for some people don't like it. And for me, it was a choice. We all have to make choices. And having gastric bypass surgery or any of the weight loss surgery is a tool. Just like any other tool, like a gym, you go to, you got a treadmill, you got weights, you got whatever else. It's a tool that you use. Either you use it or you don't. Now, how many people have bought a treadmill in their house and it sits there and becomes, it becomes the catch-all for the dog or for the laundry or for
right, just collects dust. Yeah, it just looks nice. It just looks nice. You run in your head. You're like, yeah, I did 3 miles in my head, and it's like,
I wasn't out of it because my ex-wife, we had a treadmill, and we had a black lab. That was the dog. That was his sitting spot. And if not, it became the catch-all for the laundry.
Right.
So I elected to do the gastric bypass surgery. So I went through the motions. I met with my doctor. It was a 6 to 8 month program. And I wanted to make sure I tried to follow the program to a T. Mm-hmm. To the point where I remember they told me at one point, they said, well, Anthony, you got to lose at least 20 pounds before we even consider, starting you. And I was like, okay. By the time I ended up going into the surgery, I had already lost about 85 pounds. They said, oh, you need to lose 20. I said, yeah, but I was, but once I put my mind to it, I was on the roll then. I was like, oh, we cooking with gas now.
Right.
Then I started, here was the thing that really was the eye opener for me, was the counting of the calories. And so I met with a nutritionist one day. Right? Okay. And so with the nutritionist, it kind of gave me the simple terms of, I've always heard this from elementary school, you are what you eat, right? And so I'm like, okay, I mean, you'll hear that in and out, you in one ear, out the other, like, okay, whatever. I mean, I kind of blew it off. I didn't really understand what that meant until she wanted me to start tracking my calories. And just to start, so I downloaded the app to my phone, technology. So I downloaded the app. And I just start tracking everything I ate, because the app was like, if you went to McDonald's, Burger King, Popeyes, any restaurant or anything you cook, canned foods, a cupcake, anything, basically had everything categorized in this app, right? And I started to really visually see how much food and calories I was intaking daily.
Yeah, because you don't even think about it until you see a visual representation of what that is, whether it's a bowl of cereal, whether it's a bowl of oatmeal, or whether it's a bowl of cookies, and it's like, oh, snap. You kind of thinking like, okay, a little munch here or, munch there. And it's, oh, that munch is 250 calories because this is, or you're looking at the serving size. You're like, okay, like my serving size could be a big kitchen mixing bowl, you know what I mean? That grandma used to make cake in.
How many times have we watched, Saturday morning cartoon with a big old bowl of cereal?
Yeah. Easily. You're just like, oh, ain't nothing when you're an adult. But then when you look on the back of the cereal box and it says, oh, the serving is 3/4 of a cup. You're like, what? And 3/4 of a cup is XYZ. And you're like, exactly. Oh, snap.
So I started to count the calories. I mean, because I started my day almost every morning at McDonald's. A bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, 2 hash browns, a large coffee with 6 creams and 6 sugars. 17 at the first window, please. That was my morning every day. Mm-hmm. I mean, that was almost 2,000 calories.
Right.
So by the time I looked at it, on average, I was intaking over 4,300 calories a day.
Wow.
And so the nutritionist said, okay, you got about, I think it was like one day it was like 4,325, something like that. She said, okay, drop the last number. So she said, drop to 5. She said, what you got? I said, I got 435 or 432. She said, step on the scale. I was about 440 pounds at that point.
Wow.
That's what I said.
Wow.
Christian, that's what I said.
Right. Wow.
So that was an eye opener for me. Mm-hmm. OMG, I am what I eat. So now that was a motivation. Okay, now like, hold on. Mm-hmm. But now, but then I was looking at, because I also had the app on my phone. So every time I walked or any type of movement, my phone would track how many calories I was burning. Right. Whether it was that 20, 30 minute consistent or just the sedentary movement around the building, or just when I was sitting in, if I swing my legs in a chair or whatever. And I'm like, oh, but my calories I'm burning is nothing compared to what I'm intaking.
Right.
So I said, okay, well, Do I have to have the bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, 2 hash browns, large coffee, 6 cream, 6 sugars? All right. Let's do a medium, 4 creams, 4 sugars, 1 hash brown. A couple weeks later, do I have to have that? Let's just go with the wrap and a small coffee. As a matter of fact, do I even need this McDonald's?
Right.
So everything started to become a step down for me. For me, it became a step down. Okay, boom, step down, step down, step down. Do I have to have all of the sodas? And all, all the, I have to, no, I don't. Okay, so let's just do the juices. But after a while, I'm like, oh, do I have to have all this juice? Because some of the juices got, they got the unnatural sugars. Now, let's cut that down. Do I have to have all the bread? I found myself eating bread almost daily, not realizing all that bread was just turning into, sugars. Okay, so if I'm gonna have bread, the holiday, okay, I'm gonna save my cornbread for the holiday.
Right.
Or my sister, she making dressing this week. Okay, that's gonna be my bread for the week.
Right. For the week.
It was like, oh man, you talking about, it was a step down for sure. I mean, to the point where I started to do I have to have the fried chicken?
Right. You start just questioning yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, questioning yourself, questioning the purpose of why am I eating this? Do I really need it? And at least you ask yourself that question, and whatever answer you came up with is the answer that you came up with, and you dealt with it. But from what I'm hearing, the answer you were coming up with was, maybe I don't need it. You know what I mean? And that's strength in itself. That was strength in itself.
What's my alternate? So what's my alternate plan? To the point where by the time I finally went into surgery, July 11, 2018.
Okay.
By the time I got at the operating table, I was 386 pounds. And I said, okay. They said, you sure you want to do it? Like, yep, let's go. And then I'm glad they did, because they ended up finding a hernia. Didn't know I had a hernia. So I took care of that. And some other thing, they said hernia was about as big as a grapefruit. Oh, yeah, I'm glad you did. Take care of that. And then from there, once I kind of got myself back up and rolling, a couple of days later, I went back to walking, as much as I could tolerate, until we got to a point where I was just walking. I mean, I would go to the gym. I finally got a membership to the gym, started walking. I really didn't know how to maneuver and manage equipment, the weights and all that, because I didn't understand what that meant yet. A little bit later, I started working out with some friends, and things got a little bit better for me. I mean, you talk about somebody who went from a size 60 pants now into a 32.
That's a big drop. Yep.
A 6X to a medium.
Yep.
I don't know how to act. I am smaller today than I was when I was in high school.
Right. Now you can just go into the store and just pick anything you want. Anything you want, right then and there.
I'm on Amazon or whatever, like, yeah, if I can wear that.
Right. Just order. You don't even have to try it on. Don't even have to try it on or anything. It's just order it.
After a while, I started, making some other life choices and decisions. So I ended up becoming a pescatarian, to the point where then the pandemic hit in the March of 2020. I think I was probably eating fish, maybe seafood at least once a week. I mean, because by the point I got a smaller stomach, I'm not doing as much, because with the full gastric bypass, they kind of you get a stomach probably no bigger than your fist, if that much. So I really wasn't eating that much anyway. I was doing my supplements, I was doing my vitamins, I was following the instructions of the doctor, and I was doing what I had to do, doing all my water intake. There would be days when I would just go a whole day with just drinking a protein shake in the morning, trying to eat a protein bar something in the afternoon, and I'd probably eat like a salad for dinner. So from there, I finally decided, March 2020, I was like, the pandemic hit. My mom, by that point, my father had passed away. My mom was in the hospital, and the pandemic hit, and everything, we had to shelter in place and shut down.
Right.
Well, my last piece of seafood was on March 4th.
Oh, wow.
And I think we kind of shut down. I work in the school. I think we kind of shut down March 11th, March 12th. Somewhere around there. And I hadn't gone grocery shopping. I said, well, all I had was vegetables in my refrigerator.
Okay.
I guess I'm going to become a vegetarian now.
I gotcha.
Just to make that conscious, healthy choice. I said, I'm going to try it and see what happens. You know what? And now I really love it.
Okay.
I think if there's a vegan option, I will try that.
Right.
I say I'm vegan-ish because I still will eat a piece of cheese from time to time.
Right.
For protein, I will eat a boiled egg. So I will eat a boiled egg. I eat a boiled egg or scrambled egg.
Mm-hmm.
At least I try to get it at least once a day, just for the protein purposes. Then I got with a trainer.
Okay.
The trainer said, "Okay, Anthony," because if we know, for those who ever had the any type of weight loss surgery, sometimes you can lose weight and sometimes you can lose so much weight so fast,
right?
You look sick,
right?
I said, "Well, no." But people are like, "You don't look sick, Anthony." I said, "Well, I'm trying. I'm really trying to maintain it." That sort. So I said, so I got with a trainer. He like, okay, his name is Taku, and Taku Jones is his name. He has a company called Dream Size Fitness. He said, "Listen, we're gonna work this thing out for you." He said, because actually, I knew him when I think I was one of his teachers, actually. Yeah. And you're gonna work this out, Mr. Brown, and we're gonna make this thing happen. He said, "Now you've been losing weight. Now we need to tone. We need to, define muscle and tone up." Like, okay, what does this mean? Now we got the, he said, "Okay, it's good that you're walking. Now let's do some strength. Let's do some core. Let's work on his arms, work on your back. We're gonna do some leg day." And so now we're in the gym like 3 days a week. It's a consistent habit. And the one thing I had to create was the habit. It's like,
right.
Create the habit.
Right.
It's like I had the habit of eating. I had the habit of drinking. I had to create the habit of going to the gym.
Right.
Even there are days, like there may be moments where like he'll call and say, "Hey, I can't make it today. No worries. I'll just, if I only do is go to the gym, that's okay. If that's the day, then that'll be the day I just go and walk. Mm-hmm. I don't want to mess up nothing. I want to just stay in the habit and keep it consistent." Even when I went on vacation, a couple weeks ago, I went on vacation. I was in Atlanta for a week, and the hotel had a gym. I'm still in the gym.
Yeah.
Doing some things, and I had to, and I would FaceTime him live, like, "Hey, I want you. I'm here.
Right.
This is what I'm doing."
Mm-hmm.
And so that was amazing. This has been an amazing journey, an amazing process. And so sometimes, for those who've ever had the weight loss surgery, sometimes we can tend to psychologically, we still sometimes see the heavy me.
Right.
So there are days I look in the mirror and everyone is like, "Oh my gosh, you look great. You're skinny. You're this. I can see your veins and all." I will still see the 450-pound Anthony.
Right.
And I just feel like that's a psychological thing because that's the weight I had to carry.
Right. Because you've been that weight longer than you have, your smaller size, for lack of a better word. Yes. So there's no other kind of way to kind of like look at it, like unless you're looking in the mirror, you're like, "Oh, I did lose a weight," or unless you're really just looking at a pair of pants or a shirt that you own that newly bought, and you're like, "Oh, you know what? This isn't a 6X shirt anymore. This is, I'm not so self-conscious to wear this form-fitting shirt. You know what I mean? Where I got my, my arms out or whatever, and it's, oh, okay. But just meanwhile, if you're not near a mirror, you're not really thinking, hey, I'm smaller. Only time you may, realize that it's like, okay, I'm not panting while I'm walking up, just 4 steps anymore. You know what I mean? So yeah,
I'm not breaking out in sweat just to take the garbage out.
I got it. Yeah, right.
That would be a journey in itself.
Right.
So with all that, now I'm off of all the medication.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's gone. CPAP machine, I was so glad to throw that thing away.
Right.
Man, that felt so liberating just to throw it away. Like, I don't want that no more.
Yeah.
I can sleep through the night without any disruptions.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
It's just a joy. So when you hit your 250-pound weight loss, what was the major lesson that you learned just about yourself that you learned that you can possibly give a word to somebody who's looking just for, just a word from somebody who's done it?
Oh, wow. That's exactly why I wore this shirt today.
Okay.
Listen, so the shirt says, "Don't talk, act. Mm-hmm. Don't say, show. Don't promise, prove." So if I can share that with anybody, this is the motivation right here. Don't act. Don't talk about it. Act on it. Don't just say what you're going to do. Show me what you're working with.
Right.
Don't just promise it. Prove it. So whether you are just doing the traditional process, you're going through the weight loss, you got a coach, you are just taking, you're taking the vitamins, whatever it is, you have to put some work in on it. Listen, I got a tattoo on my arm.
Wow.
Listen,
I'm gonna zoom that
tattoo,
in. Hold on. I need to get that shot. Hold on.
Listen, this tattoo is always my constant reminder of the weight I used to carry. As a constant reminder. So every time I'm in the grocery store, whenever I'm at a restaurant, whenever I pick up some food, I just, oh, wow.
No cheesecake. Oh, wow.
And if I do
no
eat
pizza.
if I do eat that cheesecake, and if I
Mm-hmm.
do eat that, because the other day my coworker had a birthday, and I said, I ate a cupcake. I said, now I know what I got to do when I get to the gym. I'm more conscious about, if I do that, what am I going to do extra?
Right. That's the difference between a 10-minute walk or a 20-minute on a stair climber on level 10.
Exactly. Because now it's like, if I'm going to do these things,
right.
Or I was the one back in the day, I could eat the whole chocolate cake by myself.
Right.
I'm going to eat the chocolate cake and I'm going to bed. That's
right. Like it's nothing.
But now I got to be more conscious. If I eat this piece of chocolate cake, that's all I need, first of all.
Right.
Because I have to realize I don't have to eat all that to survive.
Right.
Most times I'm eating off of a saucer plate because I don't eat all that. Like, I don't eat all this.
I got you.
I got you. You know, my average meal a day. Let's see. I can wake up in the morning. I can eat a Nutri-Grain bar and a banana or a piece of fruit and maybe a protein drink, and I'm done. That's breakfast. I'm done.
Right.
Probably midday. I'm gonna get a quick little snack or something, just something kind of some trail mix or something till I get to lunch. Lunch, juices. I'm gonna eat maybe some popcorn or a boiled egg, a piece of cheese. That's lunch. I'm happy.
Right.
Now I found these great little items. It's like a vegan peanut butter and jelly sandwich because I don't care. Try to stay away from the food. Stay away from the bread, rather, right?
Right.
I found a vegan peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That's a good little afternoon snack before I go to the gym. On the days I gotta go to the gym. Now, if I leave the gym, okay, now I'm gonna eat my good salad, or I'm gonna eat me some vegetables. I got my greens, I got my green beans, I got my black eyed peas. I might every once in a while dabble in some macaroni and cheese. But if I see a vegan, like the other day I was at a grocery store, I saw some butternut mac and cheese, butternut squash, vegan mac and cheese. You know what? We're gonna try it today. Yeah, we're gonna go for it and just see what it hit for.
You got it. So you see on the shirt says, don't talk, act, don't say, show, don't promise, prove. Tell everyone where they can reach you at if they want to connect with you.
Listen, you can go to my Instagram at @AHarrisBrownOfficial. That's my Instagram. But if you want to know all about what we do, how we do, when we do, I have a website called aharrisbrown.com. So I got two last names, Harris Brown, all one word.com. You can learn more about what we do, with my own podcast, what I do in the community, not only here in Cleveland, but across the country about helping students get to and through to college, especially historically Black colleges. I'm a big HBCU advocate, so this is why I have this background. Matter of fact, right here, this is my school right here, Bethune-Cookman University up in the corner. And so, yeah, man, we're doing a great thing out here in these streets.
That is awesome. And this brings us to the end of another episode of the Success Fitness Podcast. This show is sponsored by my new e-cookbook, What to Meal Prep for Beginners, at successfitnessstore.com. It includes 3 recipes for 1 high-protein meal under 600 calories and also a free workout ebook. You can join me and Mr. Anthony at my Facebook group, Success Fitness Family. The link will be in the show notes. And I want to thank you again for listening to the Success Fitness Podcast. And again, thank you, Mr. Anthony Brown, for taking time out of your day to appear on the Success Fitness Podcast. I wish you much peace and much prosperity and much blessings in 2022. Have a good one.